Hey guys, it's Claire. Welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to film a more casual sit-down video just because I feel like I haven't done that in a while. My last video that went up was my Jaclyn Hill palette tutorial and sort of review, but I realized I feel like I haven't just sat down and talked to you about like some of my favorite products and stuff, so this video is sort of like an end of the year favorites. I wouldn't really call it a favorite of 2017 because I'm mostly talking about things that I really started loving towards the end of the year, because I don't really feel the need to go all the way back to like December or whatever, January last year, and like all that, because I feel like the things that I loved back then were mentioned and I just want to focus on sort of the end of the year this year, and some of the newer things I've been liking. So I feel like most of this stuff, it's been within the last 3 months, and it's sort of just like a collective favorites. Also, I've moved my background, like my location of filming again. Like this was where I used to film when I first started making my YouTube videos, like this, and then I changed it so that I was facing like, so that my desk, which I'm facing now, was in the background, and that you couldn't see like my makeup back there. I decided to change it just because I sort of liked the way this looked more. But not that anyone has a huge preference, but if you guys like one more, let me know below, because I'm sort of can't decide between the two. And I've been talking about how like I'm trying to figure out still a nice background. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much in this intro, so I'm just gonna get started. Today I'm looking over at what I got here. I got a lot of, it's mostly makeup and like beauty sort of stuff, and like 2 other things. But yeah, I think I'm just going to start off with the makeup because I think that's the most, like the one category that has the most things. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about for makeup that I've really been loving is just the Jaclyn Hill palette. And yes, I did do a tutorial on this palette, so if you want to check that out, it'll be up here in the cards. But the reason that this is like one of my probably all-time favorite palettes is, one, because it's so affordable. I believe this is $38. I can write the price down below in the description for you guys, and I'll have the link, but I think it's so great because it's so affordable. It has so much product in here. The pans are huge, and what I also love is that it has such a good variety of colors. I talked about this a lot in my last video, so I'm not going to go too in depth, but I definitely like how it is mostly neutral colors, but it has warm neutrals, cool tone neutrals, and then you also have some blues and purples, so you can do fun stuff. If you don't have any makeup palettes and this is the first one you want, or the first one you get, you really can do so much with it. And I think this is like a great staple, even if you only have like 1 or 2 makeup palettes. Like this is a great palette to start off with. So now I'm going to move into something that I've been liking for a little bit longer than most of this other stuff. This foundation, I might have even mentioned before, I started using this probably around in September. I've been using it on and off just because I have this in 2 shades, but they're both my shades when I'm self-tan. So I only really use this foundation when I'm self-tanner because it is sort of expensive. I believe it's around $40, and I don't want to go buy a 3rd color. But this is just the Stila Stick Foundation Stay All Day cover. So what I love is that this truly gives you a flawless finish. When my skin was at its worst, I would wear this foundation and people would tell me my skin looked good, and I was like in shock. So if you don't even have that bad of skin, like this just makes your skin look beautiful. The only thing is, if you have really dry skin, this is sort of, I don't know, this isn't the best for dry skin, just because if I ever had dry skin, it would cling and you could tell. But definitely if you're oily, this is great, even if you just have normal. But anyways, it just looks like this, and it comes in like a little stick. It's so creamy, it's so easy to blend. I wouldn't use a beauty blender with this. I normally would use like a flat top brush. But what I also love is it has its matching concealer, and that made it so much easier for me, just because I feel like I'm always afraid if I put on the concealer to cover little blemishes on my face, I'm going to use a color that's slightly different, and then when I put like bronzer or powder over top, you're going to be able to tell like where it's just going to make my blemishes look more visible. So I love how this comes with like the perfect color concealer. Just, it makes it so much easier, and the concealer is also awesome. It's so creamy. It's probably one of the creamiest concealers I've ever used, and it's really full coverage. So the next makeup item, it's very similar to the last. This is another stick foundation. This is the Clay Stick Foundation by Tarte, And obviously this is a lot smaller than the last one. This one has a lot less product. That's my only complaint, is that this is about $40 and it has how many ounces? This is like, it's 0.32 ounces. And just for like comparison, most foundations, I feel like this one's 0.48. But my Chanel foundation, which is liquid, so it's different, has 1 ounce, and that's like $60. So I don't know. It's still great though. It's just a little bit small. This is a favorite, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I just love it because it's so creamy and so blendable. And it just looks like this. This one is in my shade that I wear when I'm not self-tanned. And I've really been loving stick foundations. They just do a great job at covering it, and they're so easy to apply. I love how I don't have to squirt it out on the back of my hand and then apply it. I can just, you know, draw right on my face with it. And this is really great if you're looking for a creamy foundation. It is very similar to the other one. They're just a little bit different. I would say this one's a bit creamier, a bit blendable, maybe not quite as full coverage, but it also has a bit more of a glowy look, where the Stila one is very, very matte. Okay, so speaking of glow, this is something I've been wanting to try since it came out, and I just recently got it when I went to Ulta because I got a Ulta gift card for Christmas and I went and bought this. This is the Strobe Cream, and I got in the shade Gold. This stuff is amazing. If you put this under your makeup and then you put your foundation on over top, your whole face like glows. And it doesn't look shiny or oily, it just looks really great. So I'm going to show you a little bit of this on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to squirt a tiny bit out because this stuff is precious to me. I love it so much. It comes out like this, and then you just are going to blend it in to your skin. And it's like, you know, it's nothing intense. Like, it's not like you're putting a highlighter under your makeup. It's just a little sheen, but you really can tell once you put your foundation over top, and it really does make your foundation glow, and I really love it. Even if you are oilier, I think it'd still be fine. And I mean, my skin's not flawless and I still wear that and it still looks tremendous. So it's not one of those things where I feel like some people think some glowy stuff will only look good if you have flawless skin, but that really just, it works wonders. I love it so much. Okay, so I think I previously mentioned in another video how I loved the Stila. A lot of people love these. These are just the Stila, these glitters. I don't know what the actual name is, but I'm sure you've seen these if you watch a lot of YouTube makeup videos. But I love these. I did wear these a lot, but I feel like they were a little hard to work with just because the glitter was very coarse, and I loved the way it looked when I got it right, but I feel like it was easy to put it on in a way where it didn't look even. And also, it wasn't something I could wear every day. This was definitely something for going out. And then I went to the Ulta about a week ago, and I saw that they came out with these new ones. These are very similar. They just have a rose gold cap, except these are less chunky of a glitter. It's more just shimmer, I would say. So I'm wearing the one in the shade Starlight on my eyes right now, but it's more of an everyday sort of thing, and they're a lot easier to work with, and I didn't have any trouble working with these at all. So I'm going to swatch these on my hand. I just have two colors. So I have Starlight, which is like this, and I did wipe it off a little bit so it didn't come out as much product, and that's like a very pinky gold. And then I have Boheme, which is a really cool purpley shade. And the cool thing about these, that's Boheme. The cool thing about these is definitely this shade, Starlight, you can even use as a highlighter. I probably wouldn't wear it on my cheek, but on the tip of the nose, or even if you just want a really intense highlight. Okay, so the next thing is something I really tried on a whim. I just spent money on this for no reason. I didn't know if I'd like it or not, and I definitely have a lot of brow products, but I really ended up liking it. And this is the Ka-Brow by Benefit. And the reason I really like this is, I don't know, I feel like it works very well. It's very comparable to the Anastasia Dip Brow, but there's something about this one I like a bit more. I just feel like it's easier to work with. I love how it comes with its own little angled brush. Usually I don't use the brushes or sponges that come with products, but this one I really loved because it's so thin. It makes it really easy to draw the end of your eyebrow and keep it really thin. Sometimes I have trouble with that because the brushes I'm using are thicker, but this works so much better than just any other eyebrow product I've used. And that's actually what I'm wearing on my eyebrows right now. So it's also the perfect color. I have it in 3 and it works perfectly. Okay, so that's it for the makeup portion of this favorites. I'm going to go into a combo of like body, face, that sort of more skincare. And this is something I've definitely mentioned before, but even though this is sort of the end of 2017 favorites, I've used this the whole year. I've never stopped using this, and I have mentioned it before, but I just really want everyone to know about this because it works so well. This is the Origins 10-minute out of trouble mask, and this is one of those masks where if you see any blemishes or you feel like your skin's gonna break out, put this on and it'll sort of help it to go away a lot faster. And I use this probably, I used to use it a lot more. I used to use it like 1 or 2 times a week. Now that my skin's a bit better, I only use it when I see like breakouts are coming up. But it works so well. Every time I use this, I wake up the next morning and I'm just like, why does my skin look so good? And I just remember that I use this. Also, I've had this for so long. Like, I've probably used this so many times and it still probably has about a 1/4 or a 1/3 of the product left, so it's definitely worth the price. I wouldn't even say it's that expensive. And the next product I've also mentioned before, but I don't think I've really talked about in depth. So this is the Clinique Moisture Surge Extended Thirst Relief Cream, sort of gel cream, and I use this every morning and night. It is really awesome, especially if you have acne prone skin. I feel like it really, you can, I don't know, I know that it will never really break me out. And also it's great when you're wearing makeup during the day, because if you put this moisturizer on under your makeup, it doesn't feel heavy. It's so lightweight and it's so hydrating. And this is a bit expensive. I do believe this is around $52, but this lasts forever because you just need the tiniest amount. I've probably had this for a month or 2 and I'm not even, like, I don't even think I'm like a 1/5 of the way through it. So it's definitely worth the price. It's awesome and I really love it and I recommend it. And something that I recently got and I've used before but in a different scent is the Sugar Plum Fairy Lush Lip Scrub. I just love this for the winter. My lips have been really chapped, and just basically using this scrub has made my lips a lot better and softer. Something I always struggle with during the winter is my lips are so chapped and gross, and I can't even wear lipstick without it like looking, without you being able to see like every little thing. So this is a must for me. So this hand cream right here I got for Christmas, and this is my next favorite. This is probably, I don't know, this hand cream works so well. This is just the Kiehl's Ultimate Strength Hand Salve, and all I can really say is that it works so well. I use it morning and night, and the scent is really nice. It's like minty, but sort of fresh, and I really like it. It works great. My hands always get so dry in the winter, and this has really helped. Like, I noticed such a difference, so love this. So this year, I think I found my favorite dry shampoo ever. I used to use the Batiste dry shampoo, but I didn't like any of the smells. Like, I think it worked well, but all the smells I really hated, and I literally tried like every one. And so I found this. This is the Not Your Mother's Plump for Joy Bodybuilding Dry Shampoo. If you need a dry shampoo but you hate the scent of every dry shampoo you have ever tried, you should try this one. It smells more like almost a fruity like body mist than a dry shampoo. Let me just smell it. I'm gonna spray it here. It smells like oranges and mangoes, and it really just smells like fresh fruit. It's not like gross, and it smells so good. Like, I actually love the way this smells, and it also works wonderfully. I've been getting blowouts often, so I needed a dry shampoo to try to extend my hair as long as I could, and so I got this and I love it so much, and I really recommend this. Okay, so I have just a few more things to share with you guys. The next 2 things are like scents and perfumes. The first one I'm going to talk about sort of briefly because it's just so random. So this is the Victoria's Secret Pure Seduction Fragrance Mist. I used to use this so much a few years ago, and I recently just gave in to buying it when I went into Victoria's Secret because it's originally $18 and it was on sale for $6. So I was like, if I'm ever going to buy this, now is the time because I know I'm not completely wasting my money. And it just smells so good. Like, it's very fruity and very sweet, but I just like this to where never if I'm going out anywhere fancy, but just like, I don't know, it just smells so good. And this really reminds me of the beginning of high school. So that could be one of the reasons. But if you're ever in a Victoria's Secret, smell this because it's probably like my favorite scent they have. So the second perfume I have is a bit nicer, and this is one I've wanted for so long. I got this in the Rollerball as a sample from Sephora a while ago, and then my friend got me this for Christmas and I was literally ecstatic. This is the Chloe perfume. This is just like the one that's called Chloe. It's like the basic one, I guess. It's so good. It's so sweet. I love this this is really good for any time of the year. But I was using my Jo Malone Nectar Blossom and Honey, I think is what it's called. And that's definitely more of a summer and spring scent. So I was really happy to get this because this is like a great all year round scent, and it definitely works well for winter. And the last thing I've actually been using for like years, but I realized I've never mentioned it on my channel and it needs to be mentioned. So these are just the Venus Simply 3 Gillette razors. Just throwing this in here because these are the best razors I've ever used and they're really awesome. I don't really know what else to say about a razor. It's just the best one. So I wanted to share with you guys if you just wanted to know what the best was. They just look like this. I got it in a 4-pack. They're awesome. Okay, so this I'm going to mention quickly because I don't even know if you can still get it anymore, but these are just some little tubs I got from Target. These were $3 and I got 3 of these and I put my makeup brushes in them. It literally looks what a candle used to be in, but no, like I just bought it like this. And you can see I have 2 more back there. These are awesome. If you go to your Target, look if they still have these. They might not, but if they do, I'm pretty sure this was with some of the Valentine's Day stuff, and they were literally $3. It's awesome for holding makeup. They also had them in gold and like a pinkish color. Okay, and the final thing for this video that I've been loving is just a pair of boots I got by Steve Madden. I've been wanting boots like this for a long time, and these fit perfectly, and I got them at DSW, so they were a bit cheaper. I think they were like $80, and thigh-high boots can get so expensive, so that was awesome, and they fit perfectly. They're just like the basic thigh-high boot, which is exactly what I wanted. The heel's not too high, which I love. They're very comfortable, and they just have this little tie up here. They do go pretty high up my leg, which is what I wanted. They're great for winter, and if you're looking for a good thigh-high boot, I would definitely check these out because they're just so comfortable and they just fit me better than like almost any shoe I've ever tried. Okay, so those are all my favorites for these past 2 or 3 months for the most part. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to me down below. You can just click that red little button right there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure, as always, all my social media is linked down below, or not linked, I write it down below, so you can follow me on there to keep up with my day-to-day life. I also have a Snapchat, it's completely C, and I post pretty often on there, give you a little bit of behind the scenes and what I'm uploading next. Sometimes I'll even ask for video suggestions and stuff, so if you think you guys would like that, make sure to add me over there. I add everyone back so you can show me, you can Snapchat me like your makeup and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that wraps up today's video, and I'll see you guys later.